Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Full Credit to Not Another Rugby League podcast. I'm your special guest. I'm a bit like Heather Locklear in Melrose Place. I'm a special guest every week. Former legend, and you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and that empty studio apartment they call Blue Sky at former_legend. And let's kick off with what caught my senses in the past 7 days, boys. And I don't know whether you know about this bloke. His name's Garrick Higo. He's a golfer. Although he does sound like a bloke who should be selling meat tray raffle tickets at your local pub. But he was late for his tee time at the PGA Championship this week, and it gave him a two-stroke penalty, meaning he walked down the first fairway already 2 over. But listen to Higo's incredible defence, and you tell me if he deserved a penalty at all.
No, I wouldn't have been late if I knew I was running late.
So just to be 100% clear, when you walked to the tee, it was a surprise to you when they said two-stroke penalty, you're late?
No.
It
wasn't a surprise. I was late. I was there on time, but the rule is if you're 1 second late, you're late. So if you think about it, I was there on time, if you know what I mean. But
I don't quite, no. What is it when you say that you were there on time but late?
I was there at 7:18, 30 seconds.
And
you know
7:18 was the tee time?
Yeah, or something like that, 7:19, whatever it was, I don't know.
Gotcha.
And again, I wasn't that late.
Right.
Yeah, if you know me, then yeah, I am very casual and laid back.
I don't know, boys. Jury's out for mine. He might be the most innocent guilty bloke I've ever seen. Anyway, enough of that. Time to do a rapid recap of round 10, which was, of course, Magician Round, where the NRL paid homage to the great magicians in history. Every game this week was played on the Bob Catter Oval up there in Brisbane, so the greatest magician of all just might have been the groundsman who kept it from turning into a cow paddock by Sunday night. Anyway, let's review round 10, and we start on Friday night in the Harry Houdini Shield, where the Sharks pumped the Bulldogs 38 points to 16. Bulldogs attacking coach Windscreens O'Brien ironically punched a window in this game, even more ironic given that the Bulldogs attack couldn't punch holes through a tissue paper right now. And after this game, the Bulldogs are now 1 from 7 at Magic Round. And they're also 1 from 7 in their past 2 months of footy in the NRL. But if you listen to eggs like James Graham, that win against Penrith a couple of months ago shows they've still got a lot to offer. And they'll definitely finish in the top 8 despite needing to win at least 10 of their last 14 games. Meanwhile, the Sharks look very good in this game, so whatever you do, steal from your neighbours, sell a kidney, but whatever you have to do, bet against them are winning this week. And I don't even know who they play, but they will not get the points. The second game on Friday night was the Penn and Teller Cup, and it saw the Dolphins get a rare away game win, beating the Bunnies at home 32 points to 10. The Dolphins hit a 24-0 lead in this one and rarely looked troubled by the Bunnies, with weapon Latrell Mitchell beginning the game looking sore and leaving the field with 7 minutes to go. Supercoach Gramps Bennett reckoned after the game that there was nothing wrong with Trell and he'd be right for Origin, no doubt about it. Definitely yes sirree, Bob.
1 hour later.
He was ruled out. And shout out to Herbie Farnworth in this game. Herbie went bananas. He scored a try. He had 11 tackle busts. He ran for 142 metres, and it was the third time in the last 5 weeks he has busted double-figure tackles, leading to 3 straight wins for the Dolphins. Coincidence? I think not. The first game on Saturday was played for the Siegfried and Roy Trophy. Yeah, go pat the tiger, Roy, you fucking maniac. Nah, nothing can go wrong. Give it a slap on the chops to show it who's boss when you're done. Anyway, the Seagulls beat the Tigers 46 points to 18 in the same way Siegfried beat that Tiger later on that night. The Fosball honeymoon continues and the Seagulls moved up to inside the top 4 with the win, which was the 6th in their past 7 games, with their only loss coming in tight fashion to the ladder-leading Panthers. And it seems Lehigh Hopewadi is living out every player's fantasy right now. He scored a try in 7 consecutive games. And in this one, he also got the chance to put the Diet, Grant Atkins, on his ass. The Diet hit the deck after Stinkfist's son appeared to put both hands on his back and push him over. Meanwhile, the search for the mystery father at Leichhardt continued this week after Supercoach Benji demanded to know where the negative smells have been coming from. And from all reports, it has divided the camp, with some saying it's one of the forwards who is cutting the cheese. However, there's now strong rumours that Benji has lost the dressing room, as many players suggest that he who smelled it dealt it. The second game on Super Saturday was for the David Copperfield Shield, and it was the Cowboys who beat the Roosters 18 points to 12. The Cowboys raced to an 18-6 lead by half-time, featuring a double from Braden Burns and a try to Scott Bongwater. Cody Ramsey Street also scored early in the match for the Roosters. Part-time Gyprocker Matt Lodge copped a sin bin in the first half, while the split pin Ruben Cotter also spent time on the pine in the second half. Speaking of the second half, it was wetter than the seats at a 50 Shades of Grey premiere, and the rain slowed the scoring down. The Roosters got a try through Hugo Boss to narrow the margin, but they couldn't find the line again, falling short by 6 points. The third game on Super Saturday was the David Blaine Shield, where the Storm belted the Eels 34 points to 8 in a 6 tries to 2 hosing. It was a dour first half, but in the second half the Storm hit the afterburners to score 24 points, while the Eels' Joash, don't call me Josh, Papali scored a consolation try. Cameron Munster put on a clinic with 3 try assists and just as many line break assists to go with 92 running metres and a try of his own to cap off a standout performance. Bugger me dead if Origin's not around the corner. Meanwhile, eternal squeaky wheel Mitch Moses put on a vintage performance where he spent the night blowing up at his own teammates and generally making a prick of himself instead of playing footy, which must have New South Wales Blue fans salivating the thought of having to cheer this prick on for the next 6 weeks. The first game on Sunday was for the amazing Jonathan Cup, where the Knights beat the Gold Coast Witches Hats 36 points to 12. After going to the halftime break locked in a tight 6-all deadlock, the uneven salary cap from Newcastle blew the game wide open with a dominant 6-try scoring blitz in the second half. Knights supercoach, the Submarine, Justin Holbrook, masterminded the blowout win over his former club, solidifying the Knights' position safely inside the NRL top 8. The Eternal Virgin, Dom Young, grabbed 3 tries, highlighted by a spectacular chip and chase kick over the Titans' defensive line. The very unfortunate-looking winger is still crossing his fingers looking for a girlfriend, but in the cold light of day, there just might not be a lid for this particular pot. The second game on Sunday was the Chris Angel Shield, and as you'd expect, the home team of the New Zealand Warriors beat the visiting Broncos team 42 points to 12. It's the third away game on the trot for the Broncos, and you could tell the travel for this game had taken its toll, as they looked lethargic and possibly even jet-lagged throughout the match. They made 11 errors with the ball, gave away 13 penalties, and also had 2 blokes placed on report. You can just see, looking at the Broncos, that they can't wait to get back in their own beds. The Warriors completely dominated the first half, racing to a 22-0 lead, and were never in danger, finishing with a total of 7 tries to secure their 5th consecutive win. However, it came at a cost. A suspected season-ending ACL injury to Warriors halfback Tanner Boyd in the 7th minute put a shadow over the game. It's tough to make a joke about that. So the other thing that happened during this game was when the stadium's big screen caught Dolphins player Hamiso Tubai Fado and former South Star Thomas Burgess sitting next to each other in the crowd and threw them onto the Suncorp Stadium kiss cam, much to the amusement of the entire stadium. What wasn't so funny was when George Burgess appeared and groped the hammer as he was leaving. And the final game of the round, Penrith beat the Bye in a pretty piss-weak performance, 28 points to 6, and collect the Phil Cass Cup. The Panthers took a 12-0 lead into half-time, courtesy of a first-half double from the competition's leading try scorer, Silky Milky Jenkins, who took his season tally to an incredible 18 tries in just 11 rounds. To be honest, Steve Philp could score tries at the end of that backline, so talk of Milky playing Origin was more premature than former legend on an end-of-season trip to Pattaya. Fullback Dylan Edwards was monumental in this game, running for 294 metres and pulling off a crucial one-on-one try-saver on Setu 2. There's not a hope in hell that Squiddy Squidesco will get the nod over Dylan Edwards coming into the Origin.
What?
So that's round 10 wrapped up, boys. A round where the Tigers showed no bite, the Eels showed no love, and the Dragons showed no hope. Back to you in the Nathan Brooks Memorial Studios.